Okay, last time on Friday, we talked about little baby Moses. The reason that his mother made that ark, remember, because the Egyptians had said, throw all the babies in the river. And the mother had saved it, and now this baby has gone to, could you close the door, Brad? The baby has gone to the palace. The people of Israel are crying out to God because it is so hard, their work. They come home and they're just aching. And then in the morning they have to go up again, and the people there are not being nice to them, and they're crying out to God. But God hears them. God hears them. He's going to raise up Moses. But Moses is in the palace. And he is learning how to read. He's learning how to write. He's learning all. The Bible says he was mighty in words and works. He could talk well. He could do lots of things. He was probably maybe a big leader. But he knew something too. And that was that he was not an Egyptian. He was part of his own people. He remembered that. And even though he lived in this beautiful palace, he probably had really nice clothes because he was the princess's son. Probably really nice toys, the toys that they had there. But he didn't want that. He wanted to be with his own people, the people that God had chosen. He wanted to help them. And one day he was 40 years old. He had grown up. And he thought, I want to go see my people. I want to help my people. So he went out of the palace and he went to the place where the Hebrews, his own people, were living. And then he saw something that made him very angry. There was an Egyptian and he was beating a Hebrew. Come on, work a little harder. There was no one else around. At least it didn't seem so. Moses looked this way and that way. That's wrong. That man beats them. And he killed the Egyptian. Just killed him. There was that Egyptian laying on the ground. So Moses quickly kind of dug a hole in the sand and he put that Egyptian in and then he covered it up. Whew. But I don't want people to find out about that because he knew that his kind of grandfather, the Pharaoh, would be very angry if he learned about that. Oh, he went back to the palace. Now I want to see how my people are doing. I want to help them. And so he went outside the next day. And the next day he went outside, and this time he saw two Hebrew people. They were fighting, and one of them was kind of being a bit of a bully to the other one. And he said, hey, you guys are brothers. Don't do that. Don't hurt each other. And the one guy said, who do you think you are? A ruler and a prince over us? Who do you think you are? Are you going to kill me? Just like you killed that Egyptian yesterday? Oh, thought Moses, people have found out about that. Oh, don't poke at that, please. People have found out about that. Oh, if Pharaoh finds out, he's going to want to kill me. And sure enough, Pharaoh did find out that Moses had killed an Egyptian. And Pharaoh wanted to kill Moses. So Moses thought, I've got to run. I've got to leave the palace. So he did. He went running. So boys and girls, let me just quickly do this map. Here is where he lived in Egypt. Here's where this is the land of promise where God promised his people. And here, so he went all the way here. He ran all the way. I should probably make this one smaller. Ran down here to Midian. And there he was. Look, he had his special clothes on, his Egyptian clothes, and he sat down at a well. Well, some girls came, 7 girls, with all kinds of sheep, and they were going to water their sheep. And so as they water their sheep, some other shepherds said, hey, we're going first. And they started to push those girls away. But Moses stood up and said, no, they were here first. And then he went and got all the water in the troughs for them. Every day those other shepherds were kind of mean to those girls. But this day, that Egyptian, Moses, he helped them. And so the girls were very happy. They came home, and their father, whose name was Jethro, he was a priest in Midian. He said, you're back early today. How come you're back so early? They said, this day the shepherds didn't get ahead of us because an Egyptian came up and he helped us. And the father said, well, where is he? Why didn't you invite him over? He could have some supper with us. So then one of them, I didn't know who, went and got Moses, and Moses came there. And then Moses lived with that family. He lived there for 40 more years. And there was 7 girls there, and one of the girls became his wife. And her name was Zipporah. Let's say that name together. Zipporah. Her name was Zipporah. And then they got married, Moses and Zipporah. And they had a little baby whose name was Gershom. And Gershom means, I've been a stranger in a foreign land. So every day Moses went and did all the shepherds. So he lived 40 years in the palace. God was making him learn how to read, learn how to write, learn how to speak. And now he's living 40 years in the desert. What kind of things do you think he's learning now? He's learning all kinds, how to live in a desert, how to be alone, how to talk, listen to God. He was learning a lot today. Tomorrow, something very, very unusual happens that Moses has to look out for. And that's the end of the story.